If you stopped spending money tomorrow, completely stopped, the US economy would start collapsing within weeks. Not because you're rich, not because your spending alone moves markets, but because you are one tiny cog in a machine that was never built to slow down. And the people running that machine know it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your government does not want you to save. It wants you to spend, not occasionally, constantly. And once you understand why, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. Let's start with a number most people ignore. Consumer spending makes up roughly 70% of the entire US economy. Not exports, not government projects, not corporate investment. You buying coffee, paying rent, upgrading your phone, that is the engine. So when that engine slows down, everything built on top of it starts to shake. Businesses sell less. They cut jobs. People with less income spend even less. And suddenly you have what economists give a clean, harmless-sounding name to: a recession. That's the setup. Now here's the part they don't put in textbooks. Every modern economy is built like a shark that has to keep swimming forward just to breathe. Growth isn't a bonus feature, it's the oxygen. Companies need growing revenue to justify their stock prices. Governments need growing tax revenue to service their debt. And debt, remember, is the actual foundation everything sits on. So when spending slows down, it's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous, which is why, again and again, you'll notice the same pattern repeating in headlines. Interest rate cuts, stimulus checks, tax rebates. All different tools, all doing the exact same job, pushing you back toward the checkout counter. Now here's the mechanism most people never actually look at. When the economy slows, central banks cut interest rates. That makes borrowing cheaper. Cheaper borrowing means people take loans for cars, houses, credit cards, and loans mean spending happens now, using money you technically don't have yet. This is the quiet trick. You're not just being encouraged to spend your income. You're being encouraged to spend your future income today. That's what a low interest rate really is. A system nudging you to borrow against tomorrow to keep today alive. And inflation plays the same game, just slower and sneakier. When your money loses value every year, saving stops making sense. If $100 today buys less next year, the smartest move on paper is to spend it or invest it now, not let it sit and quietly shrink in a bank account. So the entire system is quietly designed with one incentive running underneath it. Don't hold on to your money for too long. Here's where the contrast gets uncomfortable. We're taught from childhood that saving is responsible, that spending less and saving more is the mark of financial discipline. And on a personal level, that's true. That advice will protect you. But zoom out to the level of the entire economy, and that same behavior becomes a threat. If everyone actually did that at once, cut spending, hoarded cash, paid off debt aggressively, the system that depends on constant circulation would seize up almost immediately. This is sometimes called the paradox of thrift. What's smart for one person becomes destabilizing when millions of people do it simultaneously. And policymakers know this. It's why during downturns you don't hear "save more." You hear "spend to support the economy." The advice flips completely depending on whose interest is being protected. So now zoom out even further. This isn't a conspiracy. No one is secretly forcing your hand. But the system has been engineered and through interest rates, credit access, marketing, and inflation to make spending the path of least resistance and saving the path that quietly costs you. The long-term risk is simple to say and hard to sit with. An economy this dependent on constant consumption has no real off switch. It can slow down, it can be propped up, but it was never built to comfortably stop. Which leaves one question worth sitting with. If the entire system needs you to keep spending just to stay upright, who exactly is that system built to protect? You or itself?